Ready? Comments. Sir, in the first place, I would like to say that this is an amendment to a rule and it is not necessary for it to go to a select committee. But it has been criticized very much. At the same time, I am thankful to two honorable members who said that if anybody was making money, it was the bus man and that he must be taxed without any increase in the bus fare. But there is another view expressed that this tax will be a great burden on the transport industry. So we are having different opinions expressed in the matter, and I am sure the select committee will go into these details. There are also many other details which have to be considered in the select committee. For instance, the Corporation of Chennai is having lorries for doing conservancy work. If this additional taxation is imposed on it, it will have to pay more. In the same way, there are several municipalities which are having lorries for this purpose, and it must be considered whether it is desirable to collect more amount from them. There are schools and hospitals which are having buses and ambulances, and it must be considered by the select committee whether they should also pay this additional taxation or not. Apart from that, I want to know whether the state government should come forward with any taxation measure in future. It looks as though members do not want any taxation measure, and whatever is done is opposed in the name of the poor man. I may ask whether the poor man is affected or whether it is really pleading for the rich man. We may now examine these three measures. One of them is a tax on cinema theaters. The second is a tax on coffee hotels and some commercial crops, and the last is a matter concerning the transport companies. The next tax is the advertisement tax. I am quite sure that once more in that connection, the poor man will be brought into the picture. We know that theaters are flourishing and a large sum of money is being spent on the construction of new theaters. In spite of this, if we impose a tax on them, immediately it is opposed in the same of poor, and it is said that we are responsible for his ruin. I may tell the honorable members that the poor man in the rural parts who may be an agricultural laborer does not go to the hotels. So there is no question for taxing him. If I tax the hotel keeper, then commercial crops give good returns, and when we tax them, the poor man is brought into the picture, and when we tax the transport companies, it is said that the same poor man will be affected. If we really take the case of the poor man, what is the amount that he will be spending for buses? It will only be half a percent of his income. Most of these people walk that distance, so it is not the poor man who is worried about it. We need not talk of the poor man every time we bring up a taxation proposal. I may tell the honorable members that these taxation proposals have been examined very carefully, and that they have been before the country for the last 3 months. We do not see any tendency on the part of the operators to withdraw. On the other hand, there is a rush for permits. It is because they know that in spite of the additional taxation, they will make a decent profit. So it is not right to say that this tax will affect the industry. The taxation is whether passenger fares should be increased. It may be gone into very carefully. Stop.